Welcome to Hello Therapy, a podcast to help you take charge of your mental health through evidence-based psychological tips and tools straight from the therapy room so that you can live life better. Feeling overwhelmed during this festive season? You are not alone. Christmas is often described as the most wonderful time of the year, but for many of us, it can also be one of the most stressful. Between juggling to-do lists, financial pressures, social obligations, it's no wonder anxiety and stress levels can skyrocket. In this episode, I'm going to explain what stress and anxiety are very briefly, why they tend to peak during the holidays, and I'm going to share 5 powerful tips to help you stay calm and grounded this Christmas. And stick around because tip number 5 might completely change how you see the festive season. But before we dive into today's episode, I want to take a moment to just express my heartfelt gratitude to all our incredible listeners. Your support has been phenomenal this year. There will be some changes moving forward because we are transitioning to a seasonal podcast format. That means that today is our final episode of 2024 and we'll return with season 2 on the 7th of January 2025. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram at Harley Clinical to stay connected and get behind the scenes insights. And feel free to join up for our email list for exclusive updates and content. So let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. Stress is your body's natural response to feeling overwhelmed or under pressure, while anxiety often stems from worrying about things that might happen. At Christmas, these feelings can intensify because of unique seasonal triggers. Think about it. There's the pressure to create a perfect holiday, financial worries from gift shopping, endless social obligations, and even that emotional weight of family dynamics. It's no wonder that many of us feel stretched thin. The good news is that there are simple, effective ways to manage these feelings and reclaim the joy of the season. So let's get to the first tip. So tip number 1 is take the pressure off. So let's talk about the pressure cooker of Christmas expectations. Social media is often flooded with lavish decorations, picture-perfect holiday moments, and there's this sort of unspoken rule that you must be deliriously happy and full of joy. Now, in this context, it's easy to see how this can lead to a mounting internal pressure that results in lots of shoulds, oughts, and rules about how your Christmas should be. But here is the thing, trying to live up to these shoulds can turn joy into stress. So here is my tip. Start by identifying your personal shoulds. Like, I must buy the best presents, or I ought to go to every social event. But ask yourself, are these adding joy or just extra pressure? So give yourself permission to let go of this idea of a perfect Christmas and really have a think about whether the rules that you have around Christmas are helping you or not. And if they are not, letting go of this idea of perfection or a perfect Christmas is the first step to a calmer Christmas. So moving on to tip number 2, which is pace yourself. Christmas can feel like a sort of a social marathon. It's a hectic time of year with lots of Christmas get-togethers, parties, school and work events, and all at a time when it can be difficult to travel due to cold weather and the usual winter illnesses that further deplete your energy levels. It can be tempting to cram in lots of social events when so much is going on, but this can easily lead to an ever-increasing rise in stress levels and anxiety. And if you experience social anxiety, then an increase in invitations to social events and things to do will likely trigger more anxiety for you. So my tip here is try and pace yourself. You don't need to attend every single event. Prioritize what truly matters to you. So ask yourself, what gatherings genuinely matter to me? and give yourself full permission to say no. So essentially, less is more when it comes to protecting your energy during the festive holidays. So tip number 3 is prioritize rest. Now, although there is a lot to do and a lot going on over Christmas, it can also be a time to slow down and rest. Shops shut on Christmas Day, a large proportion of the workforce takes time off, and the world slows down. So now is your time to prioritize sleep and rest. So try keeping a consistent bedtime, minimizing screen time before bed, and create a cozy, cool bedroom environment. Now check out episode 8 of the podcast where I talk with Susie Reading about the different types of rest. It really helps you rethink this idea of rest, and I'll put the link in the show notes. So think of rest as a gift to yourself this Christmas time. You deserve it. So tip number 4 is create micro moments of calm. Now we know that anxiety doesn't take a break over Christmas, and if festive stress is getting to you, it can be really helpful to create micro moments of calm. This doesn't have to take hours, even 30 seconds where you take a pause and a deep breath in and out can make a real difference. So find what soothes you. Maybe it's a breathing exercise or a quick meditation, listening to calming music, or just sitting quietly. And I've got a menu of resources for this, including a free soothing activities download that will give you lots of ideas on specific activities you can do to bring on a sense of calm and soothing. Now, if you're in an acute moment of anxiety where you're experiencing those really unpleasant physical symptoms of anxiety like rapid heart rate, shallow breathing, etc., doing a grounding exercise can really help. And I have a video that takes you through the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding exercise, which is a very popular and effective way to reduce anxiety. And again, I'll put the links in the show notes. So tip number 5 is remind yourself of what really matters. It can be easy to lose sight of what Christmas is really about. So our minds become filled with to-do lists, shoulds and must-dos, and what is important to us about Christmas deep down just gets lost. So check in with your values around Christmas. What is important about Christmas to you? What sort of partner, son, daughter, friend, mother or father do you want to be over the Christmas period? It may be that you value connection and spending time with others. Or perhaps Christmas is an opportunity to be caring and kind to others. On the other hand, as we discussed earlier, Christmas may be more about creating calm and peace for yourself. So whatever is important to you about Christmas, identifying your intentions around your values is essential. So if connection is meaningful, ask yourself, how can I connect with others over Christmas? And what might that look like over the festive period? So here is a quick recap of the 5 tips. Take the pressure off, prioritize and pace yourself, get plenty of rest, create moments of calm, and focus on what's truly important to you. Now that brings us to the end of this episode and the first season of the Hello Therapy podcast. Thank you so much for being here on this journey with me, and I really look forward to bringing you more episodes in season 2 in January. Thank you for listening to this episode of Hello Therapy. If you found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe, follow and review. You can get more well-being and mental health tips by joining our email list and visiting the resources section of our website at harleyclinical.co.uk. The Hello Therapy podcast and the information provided by me, Dr. Liz White, is solely intended for information and educational purposes and does not constitute personalised advice. Please do reach out to your GP or a mental health professional if you need support. Until next time, take care of yourself.